Let us begin. The best location.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Thorn's book ranting. That's what we're doing right now, right? Not Zwei 2, the Ilvard Insurrection, right?
Oh no.
Oh no. What are you all knowing about? You knew this was coming.
Hey there.
Also, let's see. I swear we have more battles to do real quick.
We do. We have a bunch.
We have a bunch of battles. Okay, level 27. Am I even level 27?
No.
No. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna fight whoever this is. Definitely totally mystery person. We won't know until they're revealed and dragged out here, because, wow. Story actually changes how this arena works.
Doesn't change how it works.
Like slightly. It's like the introduction is like, oh no, they're not here. Let's go drag them here real quick so we can fight them.
No. Not how it works.
No?
Oh, they summon not summon. They like have a either a like construct or just listen to the actual text.
What am I doing here? Is really something else I need to be
never mind.
doing?
This is the real person.
Yeah, no, this is it's the real person. Why wouldn't it be?
This is super. Usually right there they'd say, oh, they couldn't show up, so we made like a replica. Is usually how it works.
Rumble, the Ninja Cup. Alright, super. Good God. Alright, so I have recently read Wind and Truth. I will not talk any spoilers. I did, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. There are spoilers for Wind and Truth ahead. Sorry
Slight spoilers.
With this, but
I will not talk too much into details because it would not be fair. I think it wouldn't be fair anyway because it's still really recent of a release. Anyway,
yeah,
we got Subaru. We just can't Subaru. Yeah. Overall, I was slightly perturbed with the book.
Yeah, you've let me know about
this
issue, which is you're not the only. I don't think you're the only person to have mentioned this to me.
That specific issue, or the book in general that it's like slightly perturbing.
No, that's what the one issue.
Hey there.
The one major. Well, I would assume is major issue for you.
Yeah. Wait. Let me select this person, please. Thank you.
You've moved it slightly off to the right.
Yeah, it's like in the different. It's not on the grid for some reason. I think that might be in the visual error or glitch again. I don't know. So anyway, the most annoying part of the book was that there are like 8 different plot threads. And I mean actually legitimately 8 plot threads. And like 2.5 of them are really annoying because they keep cutting into what is actually going on in the book. Because the book has so many moving parts that these ones just really stand out as the point that contestants in the show switch them out in a jiffy. Oh, the state-of-the-art magical automaton perfect for training. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So there are 8 plot threads, and 2.5 of them are really frustrating because it's like, yes, these characters are cool, and yes, I like to see them. But my goodness, there are so many important things happening, and there is actually nothing happening right now with these POVs. Please, just let me get back to the information that's going on in regards to the other characters. And like, for instance, this is just like not really too spoilery. Venley. Why is Venley there? There's like literally nothing that happens with Venley. I'm gonna die here. Like,
that is not true. There is one thing that happens.
There is one thing. You're correct. There is one singular thing that happens with Venley. And then there's also like one lore tidbit. More or less.
The lore tidbit that's going to be very important and come up again later.
Yes, like that. There are those two. Why are you in line now? Why is the screen so screwed? Also, I'm gonna fight her with. Because I can just range her. Because it's like important things are happening between these two characters right now, and then suddenly there's Venli like walking, talking about Venli doing a Venli specific task, and that's been happening for the past 4 Venli POVs. And there's nothing new that happens here. It is just Venli being further along in her walk than was previously stated. That is all that had accomplished in this POV. And it distracted from the important thing that I was really interested in. Which that important thing that I was really interested in turned out to be very underwhelming.
This is funny because Venli's POV for me was like, this is going to be huge. I need to know what happens. And I think that was probably one of the hugest things.
Hey there.
Did you lose? Swap to normal shot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Like, I don't know, maybe I was just annoyed at that point, and I was just really frustrated with like the constant diversions from the other stuff that was happening.
You vampire.
The point where I just was like, you know what, I hate this POV. I really hate it. Also, this is, there we go.
Seems like she can't take damage while she's moving.
Yeah.
Odd, but she eventually has to stop to attack, so it's fine.
Yeah, because like, one thing I was really looking forward to was the confrontation between Yasna and Terravangian. And it was just executed very badly, in my opinion. And I wanted...
badly.
So like, they're... Okay. Here's just like tanking and dashing me. So, let's see if I can level up real quick. Or am I level 21 as one?
You're like level 25.
Am I? I am level 20. Why is Fiona so strong? Why isn't she helping us more often? My goodness.
Hey, remember all your tools.
Yeah. We'll try this again.
And I do mean all of them.
Oh no. I only have one button, and it's attack. The entire front face of my controller is covered in one button. One gigantic button. But yeah, I think it was executed poorly, because like Yasna is like a really... I saw this explained more in depth. I was disappointed with it, and I watched a portion of the 17th Shard, the podcast, too, and someone had like a really good way of explaining the frustration that they had with it, because it was the same frustration I had. Was Yasna is like this really strong professional like philosopher, and she's been like debating and discussing philosophy for like years.
You're jumping the wrong way.
I think yes, I am. I think I need to be jumping like a bit of away from her.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and it's like she
can't turn so good.
Yeah, and the way it was explained was that Yasna is this really like, she's supposed to be like really strong in debating, and like she's been doing this for a long time. She's been preparing a lot for this, and over the course of her life, a lot of people have been doubting her ability and personally attacking her because of who she is and like what she believes. And Terravangian going this route should have been one of the most easy things for her to defend. And it could have been executed much better, especially in the end where it's like, oh, he could have done this entire time, but instead he just decided to play games, which is explained, at least in my head, as he just really wanted to get one over on her, and he didn't really care. He just really needed her to be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I took away from that. He needed her to be wrong so bad that he was like
A victory for the light.
borderline lying,
I mean, he was actually.
not arguing in good faith.
Yeah, I mean, he was not arguing.
And you don't win against that, and I think that
That's-
might have been the point.
It was partially the point, yeah. That's also why I dislike entities like Taravangian and stories, as I've discussed previously. You just don't win. That's it, period. You just don't. Okay, so it was just, I think it could have been handled in a way that goes more with Yasuo's character and less with it just having to be, this has to end this way, it has to end in Yasuo's defeat, it has to end in this way. It honestly feels a little forced. That, like, I don't know. Maybe that was the whole point.
You are not jumping over her.
I am trying, actually. And her AoE on the out attack is very wide, and it starts from the back of her swings in front.
Do you move faster when you're not shooting?
Hey there.
Maybe. I think it's a very slight difference, but I'll try this here. This is actually like.
I mean, you knock her down to phase 2 pretty fast. You just got to deal with phase 2.
Yeah. But yeah, I was slightly disappointed with that, but it was okay. I mean, it's not supposed to be a pop. You're not supposed to be able to win that. That was like one of those like scripted boss fights where you just don't win. Period. I really wish, like, I don't know. It was slightly perturbing. And then on top of me being annoyed with all the cutscenes, I don't really move that much faster without backing.
Oh, there you go. You dodged that.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't dodge that one.
Ow.
Taking the 5 is much better than taking the 29.
It is, yeah. Ow. Oh, Jesus.
Take the 29.
I legitimately don't know how to dodge this. It's... I don't know. She's like... She doesn't turn very well, but it's like always just enough to get me. Guess I'll try one more time before I stop mashing my faces real quick.
I mean, the only other thing you can do is have food.
Am I even allowed to eat?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting about that. I'll just eat my way through it. I'll just stare and pause.
You don't
and
have
just,
you don't have any
things.
food, so
I have like the little drink things. So yeah, let me go over with how many POVs there are. So there's Seth, Journey, and Kaladin. Those are technically like two different ones, but they're basically the same for basically the entire story. There is Seth's past, which honestly interrupts from that a whole lot because it's kind of like I see it as a lot of a relevant story, and it kind of got itself through with when like the first third of it. The first third of it was like good, but then after like him mirroring the journey that he's doing currently in his background, after that point it was almost completely like irrelevant, other than reinforcing what was previously stated. What is
you have one food item left. I don't know why you haven't.
I was behind her. Stars at the back.
I've seen you dodge it. You just gotta do
I've seen
that.
myself dodge it too. Oh boy. Can I buy more from here?
Yeah.
Do we even have this?
No.
No. This is great. I like this. This is hilarious. How much money do I have? 104k? That's 10,000. I get that. That's like 1,000. I get that. 20.
Might as well get that.
Might as well get that. I'm just debating on whether or not buying the 7th set. I don't have the final ring, which is the anti that. You know what? Maybe that's part of the problem. I had a strength item equipped. This one works.
Turn now.
Let me
Alright.
teleport here real quick. Think I can buy food here?
No.
Oh,
You can buy experience here.
I will go.
Remember, you need 100,000 experience to level up.
I do. There's a lot of that is a lot of experience required.
Yeah, if you're just getting food to get food, great. I think you can do the fight without it, but that's fine.
I think I can too. I don't know. It's really finicky with her hitbox there on that attack. It's kind of frustrating because it's like I can jump over it, but the hitbox starts behind her, and there's like back to the POV. There's Seth Pass. There's Kaladin. Those are kind of together-ish. But Seth and Seth Pass are two different POVs. For sure. Then there's Venli. Then there's Navani. Then there's Dalinar. And then there's Alon. And there's Adolin. And then there's Bridge 4 Rest.
There's at least one other you're missing.
There's a little bit of Tanavas.
At least one more you're missing.
Yeah. Why can't I do it? I literally did this earlier today in preparation for this. I literally named them all. I'm disappointed with this one. Why can't I do this? Brain. I took a nap and suddenly my brain's gone. I don't know why I bothered to try to think. It's like doing math on stream. What's the one I'm missing?
Lift.
Lift, yeah. And there's so many things going on. And then when it goes back to part of Seth's past where he's being, abused, and it's like we've established that he's being abused. This is not news. Like this has been happening now that we know. And it's been happening the entire time. His character. I like his character, by the way. I really like that. I like how he ended up at the end of the story.
Yeah.
And I feel like partially, like, I don't know. I feel like Kaladin tagging along was a little bit.
Well, it was needed.
It was.
I love moments in stories where there's a wait, you can do that reaction.
Those always good.
So that was cool. I'm not gonna say any more because we're trying to keep it
Yeah, I'm trying
light
to keep
on
it low.
spoilers.
Light on spoilers, yeah.
But without getting into details, Seth does something really cool.
He does do something very, very cool. And I was actually thinking it would be the other person who would do the other thing that was really cool. But it wouldn't be as cool because it would be in line, you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that. He deserved to be able to accomplish that. But I felt like a lot of the times his past came up, it distracted from like the other 6 plot lines I really cared about. And it was like, this is something I mentioned, is that every single time anything at all was about to happen, it always changed POVs. Every single time. Without missing a beat. Something's about to happen. Well, Kaladin's packing his bags now, about to go on his journey. What? There's like 2, 3 really good, really interesting things going on right this second, and now we're getting Kaladin leaving, and he's packing his bag.
That's because these things are all happening at the same time.
They are happening at the same time, and it like, Wind and Truth is like 18 moving pieces, and they're all super interesting. But some are very much less interesting than the others, in my opinion. And those like 2.5 gears that are moving in concert outside of like literally everything else take away immensely from like.
There was one more POV. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
It was brief, but there was a wit POV.
There was a wet POV. Actually, I really liked wet POVs in this book, especially the end. No, I don't like wit.
The end one was a nice tie-in.
It was a nice tie-in.
It had been so long since I read those books that I forgot the name of the place and was like, how is this relevant?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I was talking to Richard about it, and he was like, oh, it's here. And I was like, ah.
Yeah. Like, this is also something I didn't realize until like I re-picked the book back up, because I got put off by the POVs switching so much I ended up putting the book down for a while. And I picked it up back like a couple days ago, and then I just kind of blasted right through it because I needed to know other stuff. And so what happened was, when I picked the book back up, I was still really frustrated with these things, but instead of like really hanging on to the characters and what's going on with them, I decided to instead focus a lot on what's happening and what it relates to the bigger picture.
Yep, that's
that's
probably why I
kept
didn't have a
moving.
problem with the POV switching, is because that's how I approached it from the start.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up approaching it, and that helped me immensely because, yes, okay, I'm like, okay, look, Seth's being abused again. It's very sad, and I feel bad for him. But that's a really weird thing that just happened, isn't it? What's going on with that? And it's like, once I started taking into like that frame of mind, like looking at it from that angle, I started enjoying the book a bit more. Something that was very interesting that I really wish got more discussion was the other adjacent characters that are not really supposed to be on Roshar. I wish there was just a little bit more of that, because that was very intriguing. It's like, okay, why is he sitting here being tortured? What's the pain rate?
Because they're setting stuff up for the second half.
I get that they're setting stuff up. I just wish slightly more was set up, because I like to see moving parts. And
So you're saying you wanted more POV switching?
so I want the POVs to be switching to characters that are doing things more. Like I said, there were only like 2.5 that I'd really disagree with.
I honestly think that if it would have been a better experience for the reader if they had limited each chapter to like 2 POV swaps?
They have like 3 or more.
There were a lot. Or maybe even only 1 POV swap. Or really, if we're being honest, 0 POV swaps. But
Yeah. So going off the POV swaps, you know, The Way of Kings was actually the first book that made me realize that POV swaps could be actually done quite well.
yeah, I mean, they can.
They can, and this book was unfortunately one of the not great cases of it happening, in my opinion.
It was a case of too many plot threads happening at once.
Yeah, there were so many things that are going on that if you are invested
honestly,
in like a few of them, then like
Yeah.
all the other ones just take away from it. Unfortunately,
It could have been reduced, and then like a side book with all the other ones.
Yeah, I think a couple of them probably could have been like a side book, like a short novella. This is what this character is doing, and then have it be slightly more condensed. I also saw, or at least I heard a view on the podcast I was listening to, that if Seth's background was more like arranged in a different order, it could have been more relevant. Because you had that person that he like one of the mentors he had that he really just did not like, and the background relevant to that mentor was like after the mentor had come into the picture, and it was like, yeah, well, I don't know who this character is. Why is Seth upset? And then later on, like 2 or 3 POVs switches back to Seth later, it's explained, and it's like, well, I really wish I would have known this, because then I might be able to understand Seth a bit better or have relevant context as to what's going on. Just a lot of it took away, and so like the 2.5 that I'm talking about that I disliked was Seth's past, Venli, most of it, and then a tiny bit of Adolin / the battlefield scenes with Bridge 4.
Oh, that was the one I couldn't get enough of.
But like, I really liked Adolin and his like character development. Like, I really do. I just feel like his like the amount of time his character spent in the story, I really enjoyed it. I just feel like there were so many other things I really wanted to know that it took away from the book for me. It was honestly probably one of the better POVs in the story, and probably one of the better character arcs in the entire book. But my goodness, there is secret histories being learned. There are pieces being moved into place, and I really want to know those. And that's why I count that as half. Where is this stupid thing? I think I got stuck on this one before. And I really wish I could pull up the bigger map, because then if I could see the whole map, I could remember how I did this.
Well, if you could pull up the whole map, it would be trivial.
It would be trivial. Yeah. Here, I hit. No. Wait, I'm dead now. Okay, I don't need to actually go.
I mean, you do need that chest.
That's fine.
You don't have it.
I'm not on chest wrap up right now. I'm on get food because I'm out of food again.
I mean, that's fine, but you were there. You'll just have to come back and do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I count it as half of one of the ones that took away from the story for me. I also wish that, like, audio, could you not, please? Yeah. I wish Dalinar's POV didn't get left out for so long, because it, like, he got put on rails. He got put on one of those, like, little, he got put on a movie, like, speed run.
You realize if you kill them here, their stuff will be on the other side of a wall.